High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin. Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie!
Out of the stretch. Sky towards left center field. The wind is carrying it. Is it gone? It is! Jackson Irons with a 2-run shot over the left center field fence. He'll plate Wharton, and it's 6-4. There's still an insurance run that is about to get driven in on this base hit. Flores delivers the insurance run. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Mirario has a bit of a look, shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level! B.J. Rogers to midfield! One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not! Number 6, in for 6! That will do it!
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions, Energetic Media Solutions.
It's game day in Midlothian, Texas, and we're playing the Midlothian Panthers. It's a doubleheader here at Clanton Field. And for this one, it's your Arlington Colts and the Midlothian Panthers. Both Arlington and Midlo suffered defeats at the hand of the Mansfield Tigers, and now the two of them get to see how they fare against one another. Midlothian comes in with a 3-2 overall record, playing in District 15 5A under the direction of Coach Ryan Rogers. Arlington, after their defeat, is now 2-4, but they're 2-1 in this tournament, hoping to go to 3-1 by the end of this afternoon. Hello, everybody. I'm Zach Arnold. On the play-by-play for this afternoon's game, after being producer and troubleshooter for the Bowie baseball game that was taking place over in Irving. Very excited to be bringing you this ball game. And as always, the pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346. Bradshaw will be at first. Tiffy will be at second. Elliott will be at third. Gray will be at shortstop. Berkwin is in left. Blackman is in center. McDonald is in right. Alec Reyes gets the nod behind the plate for Midlothian, who will be the home team, obviously, being their home park. And getting the start on the mound will be Dylan Dick. Pops, who have we got in the starting lineup for Arlington here in this game 2 of our doubleheader?
Leading off for the Colts in this top of the first inning, Bustamante will be leading off. He'll be pitching tonight. Axel Alvarado second. He'll be catching. Wynn will be at first base and batting third. Prater batting fourth and DHing. Hensley batting fifth and will be the shortstop. Here's a new one, batting sixth, Jeremiah Taylor playing in right field. Coach Womack said he's got he's got an excellent arm out there and a good player. He's just a good athlete.
He is.
Batting seventh, Abe Alvarado playing third base in this game. Batting eighth, Sam Harper playing left field. And batting ninth, Gannon Howard, the center fielder.
So the designated hitter being London Prater will be hitting in place of the second baseman Hayden White, who will be taking the field defensively but will not be in the lineup this afternoon. Prater usually plays right field, but after pitching in the previous game, Womack wanted to give him a little bit of arm rest, which is understandable. And he said if JT wasn't our starting catcher, he'd be our starting center fielder.
Yeah.
So that's just a testament to who JT is as a player and what he's capable of. And we'll get to see both sides of that equation as Arlington plays the Midlothian Panthers. Please hit that share button if you're tuning in live on YouTube. We appreciate all the love and support. Game 2 is officially underway in Midlothian, Texas. First pitch is low and away for ball 1. This one's put into left field. Borquin is able to get underneath it for the F7, and there's one away. Axel Alvarado will be the next man up. When we play these double headers, he usually ends up behind the plate in order to give a little bit of rest and respite to Jeremiah Taylor, although JT will just be shifting to a different part of the field. This one's first pitch swinging right into the glove of the shortstop, Gray. And just like that, an F7 and an L6 make it 2 up and 2 down for Arlington to start this top of the first. Matthew Wynn hoping to prevent it from being a very, very short first inning. And he'll take a look at ball 1 here.
One of the things we saw in that first ball game was the Colts had several innings where they went up and down 1, 2, 3, hoping to see a little bit more run and bat production in this game against Midlothian.
He'll take a look at a ball high here. Two and 0 the count as a strike hits the outside corner this time. 2-1 for Dylan Dick. Right-hander. Can't quite find that outside corner. A little pop in the glove of his battery mate Reyes. That pop not enough to signal another strike. Hitters count now to Win, 3-1. And he'll foul it off and run the count full. Matthew Wynn committed to go play at Austin College. At the conclusion of this season, he'll be a teammate of Jeremiah Taylor, who's also committed to go up that way. Payoff pitch. And he'll draw the walk. Quality at bat there for Matthew Wynn as he gets the free pass. And it'll take us to the cleanup hitter, the DH, London Prater. So 1 on and 2 out here. 3-2 Panthers, 2-4 Colts. Still very early in this baseball season as this one's a chopper to short. Quick flip over to second base. And the 6-4 force out will end Arlington's inning. So they get a man aboard, but don't get any farther than first. We're headed to the bottom of the first. It's the Colts 0 and the Panthers coming up to the plate. You're watching High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Starting lineup for the home team, Midlothian Panthers, wearing their road gray jerseys, which is a little confusing at times. Leading off, got a little food stuck in my throat. Tried to eat between innings there. The leadoff man is the catcher, number 16, Alec Reyes. He'll be followed by the shortstop, number 3, Michael Gray. Pitcher DH, Dylan Dick, bats third. Third baseman, Tate Elliott's the cleanup. First baseman, Keaton Bradshaw, bats fifth. Right fielder, Ryan McDonald, is batting sixth. Second baseman, Talon Tiffy, bats seventh. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Luke Berquin. And in center field, Jaden Blackman. Defensively for your Colts, Wynn is at first. Hayden White is at second, being DH4. Abe Alvarado's locking down the hot corner. Mason Hensley's at short. Harper in left, Howard in center, Taylor in right. Battery mate Axel Alvarado catches strike number 1 to Alec Reyes from the man on the mound. Junior, number 4, Danny Bustamante. Check swing, and it'll bring it to 1-1. Off speeder finds its way into the zone for strike 2. Looking nice pitch.
Nice curveball, good placement on it there. Throws the batter at the plate.
In play, Hensley waits for it, turns, and it's a bouncer to Win, but it is in time. A good dig by Matthew Wynn for the 6-3 putout. So that one went to the shortstop, Hensley, and now it'll be the shortstop for the Panthers, Michael Gray. Digging into the batter's box for this 3 p.m. first pitch. Probably slightly after 3 p.m., but not by much. Zach on my Pops Doug, a father-son duo back at it again. Pops, you played hooky today to come be a part of the baseball action.
I did. I have about 40 days of PTO built up.
Goodness.
Decided to take one today and spend some time at the ballpark.
You know, we had a pretty rough outing against LD Bell earlier in the week. I think it was on Monday. And Coach Womack sent me a text as this one goes into center field and locking it down, making some great plays out there. Gannon Howard has really locked down that center field position. He made a diving attempt in the previous game, and he made a good charge into the sun to make it 2 away. But we had a pretty rough outing on Monday, and I got a text from somebody within the organization basically just saying sorry that you came out there for that.
You know, this is a learning time of season. We're just more than happy to be here and get to know the players, get to know their names, get to know their habits before we get into district play. We're in preseason too.
Yeah, we are. We're still figuring stuff out. We had some mistakes with the stream setup in order to do multi-streams because we had Bowie versus Garland taking place at MacArthur High School at the same time as this broadcast. And I accidentally ended up bumping off Jot Holly from his broadcast and had to try to fix my mistake, which is why you were primarily play-by-play in the last game, Pops. I had to go be a producer, media director, whatever, instead of a play-by-play guy. Off speed finds the zone there to bring it to 1-2.
You know, when Busta was out the last time we saw him, he had some trouble getting that curveball to snap off at the right point, and not so today. He started pitch 1 with that curveball working.
Check swing. Did he go
Did he
around?
go?
The appeal.
Yes, he did.
He did. That's a strikeout for Bustamante, and it's a 1-2-3 half inning defensively for the Colts. End of 1. We're scoreless with a lot of baseball still left to play. You're watching High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Zap wants to thank the following people who helped make our tournament coverage possible. Our meal sponsors, Kristen Crocker, Nathan Gutierrez, Gloria Weber, the Madden family, the Hensley family, the Laney family, Bill and Betsy Starnes, and Armando Dercol. And our lodging sponsors, Holly Hensley Life Insurance, the PDA Advocacy Group, Lynn Wynn, Jake and Sharon Damon, the Hammond family, Patty Bustamante, and Bella and Sam Howard. A special thanks to my wife Edna, whose constant support makes all of this possible. If you appreciate our tournament coverage, please consider sending a Venmo tip to the username @ZachTheVoice and list the name of the broadcaster you want to tip in the memo.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Before we recorded that thank you commercial, or just after rather, we had already recorded it, and then after that happened, we got another contribution to our tournament coverage from the Peltier family, who have a senior on the Bowie High School squad, and they wanted to extend their well wishes to senior number 1, Bryson, and wish him the best of luck during this season. It's the final round. It's the last go round for the senior class, and Bryson's Bowie Vols are currently undefeated after beating Garland 9-1 earlier today. They'll play the host MacArthur almost immediately after the conclusion of this ball game around 5 p.m. Be sure to tune in on YouTube for that to support local teams and local broadcasts. Hensley will foul that one straight back to start the top of the second inning. He'll put this one in play. Shallow center field. Did they lose it? They did. It bounced in front of 3 different players, and it's a bloop single for Hensley. Blackman, Gray, and Berkwin all converged trying to make a play on it, and eventually that little white ball got lost in that bigger white ball in the sky, even with sunglasses on.
Yeah, I think it was Blackman that finally caught up with the ball, and he almost caught it in his bare hand, but it bounced off the ground, and he caught it again with that bare hand. But Hayden White gets on board there.
Hensley
gets on board to lead off this inning.
So that'll take us to the right fielder, Jeremiah Taylor. That's just a weird thing to say. Dylan Dick having to pitch out of the stretch now as the bunt is squared up for pullback and a feint on that strike call at the plate. It'll be 0-1 to JT as he squared up for it there. Did not connect, but looking for some small ball to try to put a man in scoring position with fewer than 2 outs. Bradshaw over there covering the first base bag, and now they're going to be charging for the bunt. The pullback, the throw to the second baseman is going to get away. It's headed for shallow right field up the line. Hensley's headed for second, and he will get in there standing up. So the errant throw on the check down over to first will put Mason in scoring position anyway.
So give him an E2 on that one.
Should be an E2 on the throw. And I think it was a ball at the plate. So it'll be 1-1 to JT with a man in scoring position now. Dylan Dick wants to reset the calls. 1-1 confirmed as the scoreboard here at Clanton Field makes an adjustment. Swing and a miss from JT. He was headed for the outfield with that one, and it'll be 1-2.
JT's really been taking some mighty cuts today, as he did during the first game this afternoon. Just working on that hand-eye coordination, just looking to make a connection. Saw him get some big hits in that game against Bell.
Cannot connect that one as the fastball blows right by him for a strikeout. First one of the day for Dylan Dick. You were talking about wanting to make a connection, folks. If you want to make a connection with us, go follow us on all the social media at Zach the Voice. That's Z-A-C-H the Voice. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
YouTube. If you subscribe to the channel, you can become a commenter and join the live chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. But if you follow us on those socials, you'll always know and be up to date on when these games are supposed to start, as Abe Alvarado takes a look at strike number 1 here. 7th man in the lineup, locking down the hot corner for the Colts in this game number 2.
Had a good pitching outing yesterday in one of yesterday's games.
He did indeed. 6 scoreless in the win against Birdville. That pitch is a bit outside.
You mentioned in some of the other broadcasts that all the players in their positions are essentially auditioning for the starting roles.
Yeah, that's the way I put it.
And it looks like Abe has really stepped out as far as getting one of those starting positions for the district play.
The 1-1. Sky towards the parking lot, but doesn't quite make it. It's actually behind the bullpen over there. We both turned our heads and waited with bated breath to make sure it didn't hit one of our vehicles that's parked out there. As it stands, it's just a ball and 2 strikes. Colts trying to find a way to bring in that man from scoring position. Second baseman Tiffy shading to the second base bag to try to keep Hensley honest. And he will step off of the mound there, does Dylan Dick. Now the 1-2. Low and away. Count evens at 2 apiece. Oh, my Red Bull is attracting attention, isn't it? Got a little bumblebee joining our broadcast tent.
Trying to power up a little bit and become a super bumblebee. That Red Bull.
He's already got wings, though.
Exactly. I was just thinking he's going to have bigger wings.
Is he just going to have more wings? Hensley's going on the 2-2. It's a hit and run, and he'll put it in play. Now he'll have to retreat as the catch is made out in right field. It's a good covery there by McDonald, making the F9 of Abe Alvarado. And there's 2 away now for Sam Harper. McDonald had to cover a lot of ground there. Almost collided with the center fielder Blackman, but he does make the catch. Hensley was about 2 steps away from third base and had to retreat all the way back up the baseline to make it back to second. First pitch to Harper is away for ball number 1.
I was able to see Harper in between games and congratulate him on a great catch that he made in left field right before Gannon made his diving play. So it was kind of fun to give him a little shout out.
Saw some time on the mound yesterday as well, trying to be a utility player for the Colts this year. The 1-0. In play, sharply down the right field line, hooking, foul. Hensley will round third and go through the middle of the infield to go back.
What other sport do you think Harper would go for? He's a utility baseball player. What would be his second sport?
If that's a...
If it even is a sport.
Oh, I see. That's the giveaway right there. See, for you,
Let's
you
stir up some controversy.
You have 2 things that you don't consider sports. So it's either NASCAR or golf. And since he doesn't have the build of a NASCAR driver, I'm going to think the other sport he likes to play is golf. As he golf swings this one up into the air, that's ironic, into foul territory. And that catch is made in foul territory by Bradshaw. It's an FO3, and that will end the inning. Hensley gets into scoring position on the base hit and the errant throw, but cannot get farther than second base. To the bottom of the second we go, still scoreless here in Midlothian. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
To the bottom of the second we go. Zach Arnold, my pops, Doug, on the call for this non-district action in the Doolin tournament hosted by schools in Waxahachie and Midlothian. I had the pleasure of being at Richards Park yesterday up in the press box. Thank you to Waxahachie High School for your hospitality. We're excited to be here at Clanton Field as well. A doubleheader in the middle of the day, one at 12:30 and another one at 3. Got to sleep in a little bit this morning and then get to go home around 5:30. Get to spend Friday evening with my wife. It's a good Friday, and it's not even Good Friday yet. That's next month.
Any day at the ballpark is a good day for us.
The Panthers went down 1-2-3 in the first inning, so it'll be 4-5-6 in their lineup. Started with the third baseman Tate Elliott as he puts this one out of play on the first pitch he sees. Keaton Bradshaw, the first baseman, will be on deck, and the right fielder Ryan McDonald, who made the catch in the last half inning, is in the hole for Midlothian. Danny Bustamante with some brightly colored cleats drops in a beautiful off speeder to make it 0-2.
He's got that curveball working today. It is in the zone. Just what you want to see in these preseason tournament games.
Another off speeder, and he's not going to make the same mistake twice. That one's to the gap in right center, but JT is able to pick it up and prevent any damage. But Elliott does get the first base runner for Midlow. It's a single to right field, and that'll take us to Keaton Bradshaw.
JT really had to move quite a ways towards center field to catch up to that ball and showed his athleticism out there in the outfield. Catching it up, getting a good throw to second base to hold the runner to a single.
First pitch to the new batter is a called ball, as the first baseman Bradshaw did not show any signs of bunt on that. So we'll see if Midlow elects to play small ball or not here. Runner goes. The play is only to first base because it was a hit and run. Wynn will scoop it out, and it'll be a simple 4-3 put out, but Elliott does move to second base, one away. Almost counts the same as a sacrifice when you think about it.
Yeah, same effect as a bunt there.
Put together a hit and run situation, and with the runner going, not able to turn two. Right fielder McDonald, man in scoring position and one out now. He'll
Drops in
get
there
that
for a strike.
curveball for strike one. That's his bread and butter right now. Let's see if he can keep it up. Nothing in one. Busta takes a look at the runner. Hensley retreats to shortstop, and it's sent to shortstop. Hensley scoops, fires to win as the runner rounds third. The 6-3 puts two away, but there is a lead run now 90 feet away for Talon Tiffy. Seventh man in the order, playing second base today. Bustamante looking straight ahead at his man that he's responsible for at third base there, as ball one is fired just a bit out of the strike zone there. There's a pretty solid lead being made there by Tate Elliott. We'll see if they attempt some sort of a pickoff. He's going at least a third of the way up the baseline. Curveball drops in for a strike, and he'll retreat.
tiny bit of pressure on Axel Alvarado to make sure you don't have any kind of a wild pitch or a pass ball. There's a solid 15 to 20 feet behind him. And with the advancement that Elliott is making, and there's the pickoff attempt. Throw over to Abe Alvarado. The courtesy tag, unsuccessful. Elliott has good timing. He doesn't move that third of the way up the baseline until he sees Bustamante commit to home. He was able to get back in time there. Ball two, too high. Bustamante, a junior for this Colts baseball team. Saw time in the playoffs as a freshman. That one's going to skitter away, and here comes the first run of the ball game. It does indeed get past Axel Alvarado. It's ball three, but more importantly, it's run number one as Elliott scores on the pass ball.
You mentioned that Elliott was being very aggressive in his running down there and taking a big lead, and it was incumbent upon the battery to prevent that from happening, and that one just skittered away from Axel Alvarado, and it's 1-0 Midlow.
So the Panthers break the ice here in the bottom of the second inning. And ball four is issued at the plate to Tiffy. So the first run of the game, and now a runner aboard again for the left fielder, Luke Berkwin.
That run coming with 2 outs in the inning. Panthers able to generate a little 2-out rally here. Throw to first.
Not even a tag. And it's unfortunate because it's all turf here. No opportunity to get the jersey dirty like he had at Richards Park yesterday. That was grass and actually a dirt infield. They had to water down in between ball games. Right to Hensley. He'll play it on the second hop. Throw over to Hayden White for the fielder's choice, and that will do it. So the fielder's choice will end the inning, but not before Midlow breaks open the scoring. It's 1-0 at the end of the second. Still a lot of baseball left to play. Stick around. We've got more high school baseball on Zap presented by John Wade Roofing when we come back.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Top of the third inning about to get underway, and it's almost time for the top of the order as Gannon Howard, the 9-hole hitter, will lead things off, and then we're back to the top with Bustamante and Axel Alvarado. Zach Ron, my pops Doug, with you for this Arlington ball game. Unfortunately, due to staffing, we will not be available for tomorrow's ball game. That'll be right back here at Clanton Field. Arlington will be playing Forney in a 10 a.m. ball game. Pops and I will be over in Irving for an 11 o'clock game between Bowie and Denton.
Bowie baseball out of the gate strong this season.
Off to a 6-0 start, hoping to go 7-0 at the end of this afternoon. They finished 5th in the district last year and want to find a way to crack into the top 4 if they can. Based on players that have graduated and just the way that things are shaping up, there's a chance that teams like Arlington, Lamar, Bowie, Haltom, they could all be competing with stalwarts like South Grand Prairie and Martin for
some playoff positioning this season. So we're excited to be bringing you all of that action. All district games for both Arlington and Bowie will be broadcast here on the Zap Network. Pulls back, sends it to center field. His center field counterpart Blackman is chasing and will make the grab for the F8. Gannon showed bunt and then pulled back with a good swing. Solid contact. Just into the glove of the defense. Top of the order now for Bustamante. He flew out to left field in his last at-bat. There's only been one base hit, only 2 base runners for Arlington so far. Still very early yet. As Dylan Dick delivers strike 1 on the outside there. Just a bit outside, 1-1. Bustamante did play second base for Arlington last year as a sophomore. Has seen time on the left-hand side of the infield as his arm continues to strengthen. It's expected he will take over the shortstop position once Mason Hensley graduates. 1-2 after that foul. The next pitch. That's to the gap. A diving attempt by the shortstop, Gray. And the reverse announcer's jinx pays off, saying that Arlington hadn't had very many base runners. And they've got one here with 1 out on that single to left.
Good placement on that hit in that gap between the third baseman and the shortstop. Shortstop who was a little bit shading closer to second base. Boost is aboard here.
So that'll take us to Axel Alvarado. He had a pretty solid pace of contact, but it went right into the glove of the shortstop, Gray. Bustamante has some good speed, although he may have a courtesy run. I think that's a courtesy run that's come in for him as a pitcher. Pitch is too high at the plate for ball 1. You have a jersey number, Pops?
No, sir, can't see the jersey. The number that's on the front part of that jersey blouse looks like number 5. I just saw him turn just
5
a
is
bit.
at the plate. So do we have a 15? No, that's a 6.
I'm looking over all the fans that are.
I'm using the binocs. We've got a confirmed number 6.
Okay.
As this one's high and away. That's Colin Murphy, junior utility player, coming in as the courtesy runner for Bustamante. 2-0 at the plate as the third baseman Elliott is on the infield grass. And another pitch out makes it ball 3, and now Axel will definitely put the bat on his shoulder. Arlington's debuting new black with thinly placed green pinstripes and green numbering with cursive Arlington across the chest. It's a very clean look. The double horseshoes just above the numbers on the backs of the jerseys. This might be my new favorite uniform. 4-pitch walk, and there's 2 men aboard with 1 out for Arlington. Axel is the catcher, so he'll get a courtesy runner as well, most likely.
14.
That is number 14 for the Colts. I want to say that's Gamez. That is indeed. Hey, I'm learning the roster. It's only, what, game 5 or 6 for me? Number 14, junior Yadier Gamez, 5'10", 160 pounds. So a couple of speedsters on the base paths with just 1 out here for Matthew Wynn.
Gamez with a good bit of pitching at the end of the last game.
Now getting some time as a base runner. First pitch to Wynn finds the zone for strike 1.
Can't quite find the zone. Fans, the third inning is presented by our friends at Ika Signs. They're located in the heart of Arlington and offer same-day production on certain rush orders, and they offer a catalog of custom printed materials. Call 817-617-2229 today to find out how Ika Signs can help your brand's visibility. 1-1, fouled away for 1 and 2.
If you had to guess, what would you think would be Matthew Wynn's other sport?
He's got a pretty good build to him. But I've never called his name in football. So process of elimination, if you're trying to use that athletic frame.
You want to get down low in the paint,
Oh, well,
muscle some people out?
that gives it away. This one's out of play behind us, headed for the parking lot.
Oh, hello.
Crashes on the ceiling. Thank goodness it doesn't crash on our ceiling, because our tent does not make that noise.
Yeah, we asked some of the boys what their favorite things are in life, and
Trying to
Sam said his
incorporate.
second sport would be basketball.
Trying to incorporate a couple of other little elements into our broadcast as we continue to evolve here at Zap. The 1-2. This one he squares up and puts up in the air. Shallow infield, and the infield fly rule will take effect. So it does not matter that he didn't catch it. Wynn is retired on the infield fly to 6. And that'll bring us to the designated hitter of the day, London Prater. Prater got the start on the mound earlier today, one of those young men that is looking for a spot in the rotation. It's believed that he and Danny and then Abe Alvarado are probably some of the top 3 potential players for Arlington. And it's always a good problem to have when you think you have 3 players that are capable of being district competitors, because you only play 2 district games at a time.
2 district games in a week, and that leaves you room for a third pitcher to come in on a Saturday, say like that game we have in Mansfield versus Mansfield coming up at the Colt Field.
Or even better, to be ready for the playoffs.
This
You need 3 people in your rotation for the postseason. This one's sharply hit to the diving second baseman. The throw is in time. And Midlothian escapes the jam. Tiffy to Bradshaw on a sharply hit 4-3 putout. The dive is successful, and Arlington leaves some men stranded. To the bottom of the third we go. It's 1-0 in favor of the home team. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, bringing you this Doolin tournament action here on this Friday afternoon. As Don't Stop Believin' comes on over the loudspeakers. It's been a relatively quiet afternoon, Pops. Even with Midlo being the home team, there's no walk-up music and there's no PA for this tournament action. So we've had to provide our own insights and come up with some of our own ideas for walk-up music as this tournament goes on. Maybe they'll debut it during district, who knows? This should be 9-1-2 in the mid-low lineup. First pitch swinging, it's going to center field, and it's going to the gap. All the way to the wall as it slows to a stop on the warning track. Jaden Blackman on his horse, and he's headed for home. He swung around third, and he'll retreat back to third base on a triple to the deep gap in right center.
He was flying around those base pads. And it looked like the coach did wave him around. And after he rounded third, the coach threw up the brakes and said, "Come on back."
Blackman was looking for a particular pitch to hit, and he got a hold of it, and neither the speed of Howard or Taylor was able to prevent that stand-up triple, and it's a top of the order with the second run 90 feet away for Alec Reyes. Grounded out to shortstop in his last at-bat. Pretty much anything save for a strikeout could end up scoring this run. Curveball's a bit high and outside. That's ball one to catcher. Arlington infield is playing on the lip of the infield grass. Trying to get the play at home if possible. Bustamante checks the runner and throws ball two too far inside. A little bit of overcompensating perhaps after going too far outside on the last pitch. A 2-0. And out of play. Reyes with a solid swing. Keep it straightened out though. He's got his center fielder number 6 90 feet away, trying to find a way to bring him home. Bustamante with another off-speeder that again can't quite find the zone. Pops, I feel like he was getting that call just an inning or two ago.
Seems like it. It's hard from our vantage point to see that outside edge.
A little sigh from Bustamante as he thought he got that one. It's 3-1 though. Hitter's count pitch. Ripped to right field. That's a base hit. Taylor will play it on the hop and give it to Hayden White, but the second run will come across on the RBI single by Alec Reyes. So Blackman makes it 3/4 of the way home and then gets driven in on the RBI single. 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Still very manageable, but Arlington needs to prevent further damage as we go to the shortstop, Michael Gray. Out to center field in his first at-bat. Squares up for the bunt here, pulls back, but the strike gets called anyway. It'll be 0-1. Check down over to first. Not even a tag applied as Reyes dove back in plenty of time. Runner goes. It's a hit and run. It's headed for center field. Gannon Howard finding it in the sun, and that will send the runner back to first. Reyes retreats, and it's back-to-back F8s at Michael Gray's expense. That's the first out of this bottom of the third, as the pitcher counterpart Dylan Dick in the third spot in the order will dig into the batter's box and try to help himself with a man aboard. And this time the off speed will dip into the zone. When it's working, it's working. Sound like Lee Corso. When he throws it right, it's a strike. Team that scores the most runs wins. Runner goes. Axel with a laser down to second, but it's a little bit in front of the bag. Ball one at the plate and a stolen base for Alec Reyes.
So now a man in scoring position with one out to the pitcher. Hard hit, but out of play. Pitcher's advantage with a 1-2 count now as a little bit of communication takes place between Bustamante and the shortstop Hensley. Busta nods in understanding before he resumes his spot on the mound. And here comes the check down, and it's going to head to shallow center field. Gannon Howard tracing it. Runner is going. Here comes the throw. It will not be in time. And that will be an E1 on the throw. It was very errant, getting away from Hensley.
Yeah, Howard was pretty deep in center field out there, so he wasn't able to back up. I don't know if he missed the call on the throw down. But when that ball got away at second base, Howard was too far away to pick it up in time to prevent the runner from getting to third.
Now the infield will be playing on the lip of the grass. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at the plate. Dylan Dick with 2 strikeouts. Those are the only 2 that Bustamante's been able to record. But it will be up to Tate Elliott to try to bring in that third run, with Reyes now 90 feet away thanks to a stolen base and an advancement on an error. Suicide squeeze attempt as he fouls it back into the netting. I mean, there's no better time to practice that than during tournament play.
Might as well.
And if
You got the situation and you got a little bit of a lead.
defense off guard, Matthew Wynn was playing straight away. The only opportunity would have been for Bustamante to come off of the mound and get it. The 0-1. Too low for a ball. Off speeder that bottoms out underneath the knees of Elliott. Got a single and scored a run in his last time to the plate. The 1-1. Thought about it, held off, and gets the ball to call. Two balls and a strike, 2 out, 2 runs across for Midlothian now. Ripped back up the middle, past the glove of Bustamante, base hit to center, and it's 3-0. 2 for 2 afternoon for Tate Elliott here. 2 singles, a run, and an RBI. 3-0 your score here in the third. That'll take us to the first baseman, Keaton Bradshaw. Bradshaw grounded out. Hayden White at second base in his last plate appearance. Axel sends in some signs. And will come set with a man aboard at first. Check down, he's back in time. Pops, we have called baseball games in pretty inclement weather before, with cold temperatures during the Central Texas First Pitch Classic. Runner goes, tag is in time! I was just about to talk about what a beautiful day it is, and that was a beautiful throw from Alvarado to get the man at second. So that means Bradshaw will get the plate appearance the next time around. Arlington gets out of the inning, but does give up 2 more. It's 3-0 at the end of the third, but there's still a lot more ball left to play. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Time for the 4th inning at Clanton Field. A couple of extra runs plated by Midlothian. A hard hit ball that went all the way to the wall. And then just a couple of singles after some opportunistic base running. And just like that, it is 3-0. Mason Hensley will be leading things off for Arlington here in the top of the 4th. Dylan Dick out for another inning of work, and he'll deliver ball 1 outside. Pops, what do you think the most inclement weather we've called in before has been? Up in the air, shallow infield, and a foul out, a fly out rather, to Bradshaw at first base.
Most inclement weather for a baseball game. That first year we went to the Central Texas First Pitch Classic was very cold and windy.
Yeah, there was a game at McNeil, I think, that was particularly chilly, and we had to get some hot hands, hand warmers, and some hot cocoa as JT digs into the batter's box, struck out his last time up. I think there may have been a game that I called by myself, Flower Mound, a year ago. That was pretty cold and rainy as well. And we bought more hot hands and tried to prepare ourselves for cold weather during this year's Central Texas First Pitch Classic. And it got so cold that several DFW teams decided they didn't want to risk driving on icy roads down 35 to maybe play some baseball out of town. Decided to try to play something a little more local. As ball 3 goes low and away.
JT's showing some good restraint here, really being selective about the pitches he wants to swing at. He's been swinging taking some mighty cuts this afternoon and doing a good job here with a 3-ball count.
Feigned an offering of a bunt and just takes a look at strike 1. He was taken the whole way there. Hitter's count pitch. Too far inside, and he will take the free pass. JT's the right fielder today, so he will not be issued a courtesy runner. He will run for himself. And that'll take us to Abe Alvarado. Had some solid contact, but it went into the glove of the right fielder, McDonald. We'll see if Coach Womack elects for small ball since there's only 1 out on the board. They'll try the pickoff, and he's back in time. First pitch home. Inside for ball 1. Feel like a broken record, but Abe Alvarado with 6 scoreless innings in the 4-1 win against Birdville. Some really solid placement and some solid defense behind him. JT goes, that's a strike call. And they say he was able to get back to the bag before the tag. The turf caused him to slide past second base a little bit there, but he still gets back in, and it is a straight steal for JT. Pretty good throw by Alec Reyes. There was an opportunity on that bang-bang play, but he does get in safely. And there's a man in scoring position now with a 1-1 count for Alvarado at the plate. He'll put this one into center field. On his horse is Blackman. He'll make the catch, but JT will tag up and make it to third standing up. So the sacrifice fly will move a runner, and F8 will be credited. Arlington's first run 90 feet away, but he will need to be hit in by Sam Harper. Fouled out in first base territory his last time up. Contact. Headed down that first base line again. They'll take a look at it as it goes out of play for strike one.
Outstanding defensive play. The first ball against Mansfield. Come charging in hard on a ball that was dying on him and slid, dove to make the catch. Nothing in one.
And they'll pull back as JT got a little too close to home, literally. Reyes with a feint over to Elliott, but didn't actually make the throw down to third. And it is ball one at the plate to Harper. The 1-1. Check swing, too far inside. Good eye there by Harper. To make it 2 balls and a strike. They'll foul this one behind us. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Arlington in scoring position again, trying to find a way to bring him home. Two towards second base. Scoops, fires, and the inning is over. Tiffy to Bradshaw ends the threat and takes us to the 4th inning stretch. It's presented by Taqueria Taco Express, featuring a wide, authentic menu. Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving. Order online to collect points for free food or get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca on Taco Tuesdays for just $10. To the 4th inning stretch we go here at Midlothian. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
3-0 the score here as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Arlington only plated 1 run in the first game against Mansfield, having trouble getting anybody home from scoring position here in this one. They do have another game on the docket tomorrow morning back here at Clanton Field. We encourage the Colt faithful to come out and support your boys for that 10 a.m. first pitch. Due to staffing, we had to make a choice. We'll be covering Bowie tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. here on Zap. As the first pitch to Keaton Bradshaw, who was at the plate during the caught stealing attempt in the last inning, will get his first full at-bat, second really. Had a 4-3 ground out in his last at-bat. He should have complete coverage of Arlington's third and final tournament as this one goes over the head of Bustamante. Charging is Hensley. And on the 1 foot makes the throw for the 6-3. We'll have all 5 ball games Arlington plays next week, and then all district games will be covered as well. District play is not that far away, Pops. Can you believe it? We've got our first district game of the year on March the 11th, less than 2 weeks away.
Be fun to get that part of the season underway. Enjoying this part of the season right now. Looking forward to that Medford tournament that will take place over the weekend. A special day for me.
Oh, yeah.
For the second year in a row, I'll be spending my birthday at the ballpark with your Colts.
McDonald's in an 0-2 hole to start this at-bat here. Grounded out to short his last at-bat. Curveball low and away for ball 1.
Looking forward to playing the team from Lake Belton in the Medford tournament. Old friend of mine from Mansfield Summit High School. Chris Peacock is the head coach at Lake Belton. We're going to get to reconnect.
Fastball inside makes it 2-2. We'll release a full schedule of what our coverage will be like for next week's Medford Memorial Tournament. The whens and the wheres. Swings and misses at that one. Reynolds is retired on strikes. That's the 3rd K of the day for Bustamante. And there's 2 away for Talon Tiffy. Yeah, we'll have 5 games in 3 days. Zap is producing a total of 8 games over 3 days. 4 for Arlington, 4 for Bowie. This is easily our most busy weekend in Zap history. So if there are a couple of bumps along the way, we appreciate everyone's patience as we sort things out.
Well, the idea would be to refine and smooth out those bumps in time for district play.
Which is exactly what these teams are doing as well. 1-1 at the plate to Tiffy. Walked his last time up. Alvarado tried to frame that one, but the umpire says ball 2.
We're introducing a lot of new technology with the video camera and the new score bug you'll see in the lower left corner of your screen.
In play, past Hensley into left center. Howard able to track it, and it'll be a single to left center for Tiffy. Berkwin ended the evening, or the inning rather, on a 6-4. Fielder's choice during his last at-bat. They'll check on the runner, but he is back safely. Trying to make sure Tiffy doesn't get too far away from Matthew Wynn at first base there. Off speed, drops in, strike 1 looking.
Nice looping curveball there by Bustamante.
Pops, I was part of a triple header yesterday. I'm surprised my voice still exists. First time I personally have ever done 3 games in a single day before. As soon as the game against Rowlett went final, I packed up everything and drove from Waxahachie up to Irving Nimitz and helped Jot Holly call our very first Bowie broadcast. Bumped to squared up for and fouled away for strike 2. A lot of firsts this weekend. First ever Bowie-centric broadcast that wasn't versus these Arlington Colts. They got the win against Irving Nimitz by a score of 3-2. It was really, really fun getting to celebrate with those young men. They have a lot of great chemistry, and they really enjoy having us along when we're able to come and be a part of it. The Arlington faithful always tuning in as well.
I know Donna Nipper's tuning in from Mississippi. I know my wife was tuning in for a while as well. I know Mom likes to tune in when she's able as well. You guys had one of the games yesterday up on the big TV, did you not?
Yeah, we were streaming the Bowie game.
Swing and a
TV.
miss. Another strikeout on swings, and the runner is retired. 4th K for Bustamante, and that's the quiet inning this Colt defense needed. Yeah, be sure to streamcast these games and put them up on your big screen TV. The frame rate should be good enough for that.
Oh, it was. The broadcast was beautiful. The color was beautiful. The lighting was great. It was the difference, I think, was that night game.
Might have been.
So.
To the 5th inning we go. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Welcome back to a cool and breezy afternoon of Colt baseball on Zach Arnold Productions YouTube. Super excited to be bringing you video coverage of this action as Gannon Howard sends this one to deep left field. It's going, and it's gone! Gannon Howard with a big swing out of the 9 spot sends it 330 feet over the wall, and the Colts tally their first run of the game.
That ball got up in the jet stream and just kept going. Big grin on the young man's face, who's made some fantastic defensive plays today. But big helmet tap with Bustamante as he crosses the plate, and a big grin on his face. Fantastic hit over that left field wall.
That first run of the game for the Colts is their first taco tally. All first runs of the game are presented by Taqueria Taco Express this season. Visit any of their 4 locations on Taco Tuesday for their $10 meal special. Bustamante takes a look at ball 1 inside. Ball 2 away. Bustamante got a single to left field his last time up. A little bit of energy from the Colt dugout now as Bustamante with a home run swing that gets tipped into the glove for a strike. Two and one to the starting pitcher, trying to help his own cause. And Dylan Dick will get the off-speed strike call in the upper half of the zone to make it 2-2. It's only fair if Bustamante gets calls in that part of the zone with that type of pitch that his counterpart would as well. Time is called just before Dylan Dick begins his rotation. Special thanks to John Wade Roofing for helping chip in a little bit extra to make this production extra special. This one's lofted, and it may bloop in for a base hit to left field. Off the end of the bat, a little bit of a awkward swing, but the tapper puts a man aboard. 2 straight hits for the Colts.
Yeah, center fielder Blackman was playing just a little deep on that with Bustamante at the plate. And Busto extended his arms and got just enough of the barrel of the bat on that ball to loop it out there to the big blue M out there in center field. It's painted on the field between second and center field.
Man aboard now for Axel Alvarado, who walked in his last appearance. Got some speed on the base paths with nobody out. Bunt is indeed squared up for, and he'll get issued a strike. Thought he made contact as the third baseman Elliott charged up that baseline. The defensive alignments for a bunt are one of my favorite things to watch because second baseman has different assignments based on which end of the baseline the batter's trying to send it. Third baseman has to charge. Shortstop has a different position to cover each time. And they'll check in on the runner at first. That should be Murphy coming in for Bustamante. He'll be the courtesy runner there.
Yep, number.
Excuse me. Don't know if you heard that. I tried to mute myself in time. Should be 6, Colin Murphy. 0-1 at the plate. He'll pull back, and a ball will be issued, 1-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. The 9th spot, Gannon Howard, providing a spark to this Arlington offense. We'll see how far it can carry them. He'll square up again and foul this one off, and it'll be strike number 2. Axel a little frustrated with himself there as he gets ready to dig back into the batter's box.
He's trying to get a good lead. The left-handed batter has an advantage being closer to first base, try and drag that bunt and get on first with a single. Not as likely to try and bunt now with 2 strikes. He's a bunted third strike that may go foul, would be an out.
Unless he's able to send it right back up the middle, but we'll see. Midlow thought that he was going to get rung up there, but it's a little bit too far inside, and it's 2-2. Matthew Wynn in the on-deck area for Arlington. I would call it the circle, but is he actually in the circle, Pops? I can't tell.
He's a little bit closer than the circle.
There is an actual, like, turf circle, like the one Adrian Beltre historically dragged that one time for the Rangers.
Because he wanted to stand closer.
Because he wanted to stand closer. Umpire told him, you have to be in the circle. He's like, fine, I'll take the circle with me.
He was quite a character.
2-2, runner going, and it's a hit and run as Alvarado fouls that one off the end of the bat up the third baseline. It'll remain 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Axel with his left foot in that back left corner of the batter's box. Quick look of Murphy at first. And he's going again. Inside, and the throw is wide, headed for shallow center field. That'll be a straight steal for Murphy. And it'll be ball 3 to Alvarado. Man in scoring position, nobody out.
Good speed by Murphy on the base paths out there to basically get the straight steal.
Yeah, Reyes' throw was a little bit behind the shortstop, didn't catch him in stride, made it difficult.
The Colt dugout is jumping over there.
Hope you all can hear it. We're trying to turn up our ambient mic so you can hear the crowd noises, but it's kind of positioning away from the Colt dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes, a man on second here in the top of the 5th inning. Arlington's first run hoping to not be their last. A home run in the game against Rowlett provided a spark that was tough to extinguish in yesterday's game. Payoff pitch. Too low for ball 4. That's a bang placement, but Alvarado wins that at bat and will trot down to first base.
times aboard on walks for Axel Alvarado. That will prompt a mound visit as Arlington now has 2 men aboard and nobody out. We'll see if a courtesy runner comes in for the catcher, Axel Alvarado, or if they elect to keep him there. Looks like Coach Womack is looking at his lineup to see who he can bring in. Looks like number 12 on the Colt roster, Dominic Trio, played right field for Arlington in game 1, and he'll get some time on the base paths here. Fans, thanks so much for letting us come into your devices and your homes, bringing you high school baseball here on Zach Arnold Productions.
You know what was fun was even though I was at work yesterday, because I do have to work sometimes, I was able to tune in and keep doing my work at my desk and tune in and watch the ball games. I did have to pause at one point because I actually had to focus on my job.
You had to do your work.
I missed a couple of innings, but still it was fun to come right back and see that there were new runs on the board and just catch up with where the play left off. So it's fun to be able to tune in to Colt baseball anywhere I happen to be.
We're bringing you every single district game, and if Arlington makes the postseason, we're covering that too. They've made it every year under Coach Womack, as this one's hit to right field. Defense was playing the bunt, and it goes into right field. Another run is coming home, and it's going to be safe at second base. That's a straight-up double and an RBI that will score a second run for the Colts. It's now 3-2 with 2 men in scoring position.
Trio motors into third base after Murphy gets home.
Matthew Wynn, we'll give him a double because they were playing to second base the whole time. He didn't advance on a throw home. That's a 2-bagger to right field and an RBI. And now London Prater digging in. First pitch swinging, and he'll foul that one off. Prater showed off his power yesterday, Pop, sending one over the left field fence.
Might be a good time for a reprise. Runners at second and third, nobody out.
There's a big gap over the head of the shortstop. Even if he can just place it in the left center gap, Arlington takes the lead. The 0-1. Off speed is away for ball number 1. Middle infielders converge on the return throw to the pitcher and return to their spots. 325 to left field, 395 to straightaway center.
London looked down to Coach Womack at third base for the sign, and Womack gave him the hit sign. He swung his arm and said, hit it.
Just swing it. Swing away, young man. The 1-1. He's going to hit this to shortstop. They're going to try to throw to third. The tag is not in time, and the tying run comes home. Everybody is safe, and there's runners on the corners and nobody out. It's a tie ball game in the 5th. It was not a force out as Wynn makes it in safely to third. And there's runners on the corners for Hensley. It's 3-3.
And still nobody out.
Hensley had a single to center field in one of his past 2 at-bats. Can put the Colts in front here as he squares up for the suicide squeeze. Up the third baseline. The lead run is in. Everybody's safe. The runner's heading for third. It's a foot race, and he makes it to third. What a play. It's 4-3 Arlington.
On the bunt attempt, on the suicide squeeze, everybody abandoned third base. And what heads up running there by Prater to go on and go into the empty bag and get to third base. But what a play by Mason Hensley to lay down the perfect bunt. Perfect.
Arlington has played it 4 in this 5th inning, and there's still nobody out. And this is the second mound visit of the inning, which means it's time for a pitching change. That signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change. And the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And tell them Zap sent you. We'll be back with the new pitcher right after this. Arlington leads 4-3. Don't go away.
Taqueria Taco Express is now the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. They feature 3 convenient locations, including 2 in Arlington and the original site on the Grand Prairie border at I-20 in Great Southwest. Their Taco Tuesday special includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca for just $10. Made from scratch with authentic recipes, you can place single or bulk orders online by going to taqueriatacoexpress.com.
New pitcher for Midlothian is going to be a straight substitution. There are a couple of Tiffy brothers on this roster. One of them is Talon. The other one starts with the letter B, but we don't know what his first name is. It's all last names on the lineup card we were given, but this is number 15 for Midlothian, letter B, Tiffy. Tiffy now on the mound in relief after Dylan Dick. I mean, it's just the only way to put it is the wheels fell off, Pops. He was winning 3-0, and then the home run by Gannon Howard has sparked 4 runs by Arlington with nobody out. He goes 3-4 scoreless and then puts up 4 here in the 5th, and all of a sudden the game has been turned around.
Well, you know, and traditionally in baseball, they say that the triple is probably the most exciting play on the field, but I would dare say that the suicide squeeze is right up there with
Oh,
the
I loved
triple.
it.
That was perfectly executed.
That's going
Hensley
on
got
mine.
down the perfect bunt. Runner coming in from third. Nobody covered third. So Prater ended up motoring around the base paths and making it to third because third base was abandoned on the play. Just an exciting series of motion there with your Colts now having runners at first and third with still nobody out in the inning.
This will be a new batter for Arlington in Jeremiah Taylor's spot. Number 3, Simon Hercules, going to be taking cuts for Arlington here. And he'll square up for a bunt. It's up the baseline. The play is only to first, and they will get that first out, but it will grant Arlington another run as Prater comes in to score and make it 5-3. Great job by Hercules. I feel like that was situational hitting. That's something that Simon knows how to do, and that was his assignment, and he went and did it, and it's 5-3 Colts.
I want to pull up a video to play, the old Medea movie where they had the young man in the movie named Hercules, and he sporting his bicep. Hercules, Hercules. That's what I'm thinking there.
Well, that's all the way back in 2020 when we first started doing this. His older brother, Chapman, was on the roster, and I only got to call about 5 or 6 games before the COVID season was shut down. So now we get to call Simon playing for the Colts here as there's a man in scoring position with 1 out, and it's a 1-1 count at the plate. Should be Abe Alvarado, I believe it is. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. No better time than now to get a hit. Tiffy bounces that one into Alec Reyes, and it's 2-1 the count now. Runner is Hensley down at second base. And a very lively dugout doing the FSU chop. Trying to get in the pitcher's head a little bit. 2-1 in play, headed for the shortstop. Diving is the third baseman. The play is only to first. Can he leg it out? Yes, it's an infield single. There was a little bit of a bobble there. Elliott and Gray both made a play on it. Neither one of them were able to field it cleanly. Mason Hensley makes it to third, and Abe Alvarado legs out the infield single. Home run, single, walk, double, reach on a fielder's choice. infield single, suicide squeeze, another infield single. Arlington is away from batting around. And this will be somebody coming in place of Sam Harper. A bunt is laid up for here by number 14, Gomez, and he'll pull back and swing away for strike one.
Gomez and Harper's spot. We saw Gomez pitch some at the end of the last game.
Number 14, junior. Lefty hitter. Nothing in one, with runners on the corners and one out. And they'll feign towards third and then pump over at Alvarado at first. Everybody goes back safely. A 5-run fifth, completely turning the complexion of this game around as Gomez steps away from ball one inside. And it's all due to the young man that's in the on-deck circle. Gannon Howard with a home run over the left field wall, eventually chasing Dylan Dick off the mound. They'll pull up on the suicide squeeze and then pull away. Elliott charging from third base, which allowed Mason Hensley to come up the third baseline almost halfway because there was nobody covering third. If that one had gotten away from Alec Reyes, Hensley might have come in to score. As it is, it's 2-1 to Gomez as the FSU chop continues. He pulls and looks at ball three. And you have to think that Tiffy might be a little bit rattled now, too. Arlington's gamesmanship and their timely hitting and their gutsiness leading to a sky that's going to go to shallow left field. On his horse is the left fielder, and he can't make the grab. That's a base hit, but Abe Alvarado's not able to make it around second, but it's going to be an RBI single to left, and Arlington has them doubled up 6-3. Hensley will come in to score. And Arlington's offense gets something ignited. Their runs come in bunches, Pops. They were trailing against Rowlett 2-1 and put up 8 in a single inning to trounce them 9-2. Similar fashion here with a 6-run fifth, and there's still just one out. Arlington has batted around as the man who started all of this, Gannon Howard, takes a look at strike number one. At second, Gomez at first. The 0-1 to Howard is going to skitter away, and both men will advance. Alvarado runs down to third. Gomez down to second. It's ball two at the plate, and there's 2 men in scoring position. Oh, correction, that's just ball one after the first pitch was a strike. Aces across the scoreboard, 1-1 and 1 out.
And those 2 runners on base in scoring position.
Oh, the curveball drops into the zone. Drip drop. Strike 2 to Gannon Howard. The way these bats are alive, Pops, you're thinking about when the batter makes contact, not if. The entire mentality of these plate appearances has changed here in this inning. As Howard chops that one foul towards the home dugout along the third baseline.
Well, surprised the way they're playing Gannon after he took one over the left field fence. It kind of towards the third base line. They're pulling him way to the right side towards center field. Huge gap out there in left field.
If it gets over the head of the third baseman, both runners come in.
Oh,
and that's going to plunk him on the elbow. And the HBP will put all runners aboard for the top of the order in Danny Bustamante. Thea Norma, hope you're still tuning in. Saw you in the chat earlier. Bases full of Colts with 1 out for Danny Bustamante. Bustamante with a 2-for-3 day, 2 singles to left field. And he takes a look at a ball here. Alvarado at third, Gomez at second, Howard at first. The 1-0. That slider drops in at the knees for a called strike one. One ball, one strike, one out. Bases full of Colts. He's going to send that one up the third baseline, and Alvarado has to hop over it as it goes foul for a 1-2 count. He's in foul territory, though, so even if it did hit him, it wouldn't have counted for anything.
Just been a dead ball, but still it was kind of funny to watch old Abe do a hop, skip, and a jump
Playing
there.
some hopscotch there a little bit. Somebody from the mid-low dugout goes all the way up towards the 325 sign. Play is signaled. And that off-speeder is too high for ball 2. Busta thought about it. Good eye laying off of it. 2-2 the count now with nowhere to put him.
The fun atmosphere that these players create.
That one's a bouncer in front of Alec Reyes, and the count runs full to Bustamante with nowhere to put him. If he should find a way aboard, Axel Alvarado looking for his second at-bat of the inning.
Bases are crowded with Colts here, with only one out in the inning.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Bustamante is retired. And there's 2 away. Axel Alvarado has lined out and then walked twice. A walk here would give Arlington another run as the bases are still loaded. Abe Alvarado at third, Gomez at second, Gannon Howard on first after the hit by pitch. This one's another one that's low and inside. A good dig by Alec Reyes. I don't think Abe Alvarado would have been a threat to come home on the wild pitch unless it caromed away, and it was just absolutely impossible to get. Backstop isn't super deep here at Clanton Field, so you really have to keep your eye on where the defense is and where the ball caroms to. Ball 2 outside. A lot of patience at the plate by Axel as he has drawn 2 walks and is ahead in the count here, 2-0. Second baseman Talon Tiffy is playing in shallow right field behind the infield grass in case that's where Axel pulls it. Strike just on the inside part of the corner of that strike zone is called, and it's 2-1. His brother with the 2-1 delivery. This one's going to get lofted to shallow center field. Is it going to get in for a base hit? No, it's going to be a short F6 to Gray. And Arlington is finally retired, but not before an explosive 6-run 5th inning turns the tides of this ball game around as Arlington now has the Panthers doubled up 6-3 headed to the bottom of the 5th. Stick around, there's still some more high school baseball on Zap presented by John Wade Roofing to come.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Welcome back to Clanton Field in Midlothian, Texas. Zach Arnold, my pops Doug, on the call for this Dulin tournament game. Arlington fell 5-1 against Mansfield, and for 4 innings, runs were at a premium till Gannon Howard broke open the floodgates with his solo shot to left field, and after that, it was tough to keep Arlington off of the base paths as they batted around and then some to put 6 on the scoreboard in that 5th inning and take a 6-3 advantage. With the 2-hour time constraints, we are now looking at the next 20 minutes or so, bringing about the final of this game. We'll see if we end up playing into the 6th or if this 5th inning finishes things off. But here in this bottom of the 5th inning, it will be 9-1-2 in the order. Jaden Blackman did some damage in his last at-bat against Danny Bustamante, got a triple to right center, and then ended up coming in to score. Bustamante has 4 strikeouts on the afternoon, and for the first time this afternoon is playing with an advantage instead of trying to minimize the damage. Run support, a very important component in this afternoon's game. First pitch drops in for strike 1 to Blackman. Bunt is squared up for, and he didn't pull back in time. It's 0-2.
Yeah, he squared up and offered at that. He's very speedy. We've seen him on the base paths earlier today. He would have had a good chance to leg that one out.
Well, and the defense is playing straight away. This one will bounce in for ball 1. Slider that he let go of a little too late, it looks like. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Should be the top of the order in Alec Reyes on deck. Just a bit too high. That looked good from our vantage point, but not from the umpires, and it's 2-2. Bustamante can't quite find the zone as that one's just a bit outside to work the count full. I was ready to see him get rung up there, Pops.
He's really close.
It's a matter of inches. Payoff pitch. In play, up in the air, and out of play. Matthew Wynn came over from first base to take a look at it, and it'll go behind that first base dugout. We'll come set again for another payoff pitch from Bustamante. This one's more straightened out in the air. Gannon Howard able to make the grab for the harmless F8. That is the top of the order in Alec Reyes. Got a single to right field and an RBI. Got a stolen base. His Panthers trailing for the first time today. Bustamante's fastball goes just over the blue cursive Midlothian scripting on those gray jerseys for ball 1. That one will be a called strike, though. Dancing around the zone before finally finding it there. And he'll find it again on that inside corner, called strike 2. In play to center field again. Howard almost going to the exact same spot he was before, and it's back-to-back flyouts to center field. So Reyes is retired for the shortstop, Michael Gray. And guess where he's been hitting the ball lately, Pops? Also to center field.
Also to center field, keeping Gannon honest out there, staying awake. Gannon pretty solid at the defense, had some explosive offense earlier in the ballgame that really lit the Colt offense and sparked that 5-run inning. Nope, sorry, 6-run inning.
6-run inning. We got a sixth one on the board there. Then in the previous game against Mansfield, he laid out with his entire body, made a diving belly flop catch that made for a really big out. So he has solidified himself a spot in the lineup. One of 2 players to go yard in this tournament, the other being London Prater yesterday against Rowlett. Three consecutive balls inside here to Michael Gray. Bustamante trying to find a way to straighten stuff out. A 3-0. Right across the heart of the plate. Gray was taken the whole way. Here's count now. And that delivery is in at the knees for strike 2. Bustamante looking for his 5th K of the day to end the inning here in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch. Swung on and swung through. Gray is retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bustamante. It's his 5th strikeout. And we're through 5. The Colts leading by 3. Defense is coming back out for the 6th inning. We'll be back for that 6th inning in just a moment. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
So I know that's your favorite commercial
It
in our
is.
rotation, getting to see those different types of tacos from Taco Express, as Matthew Wynn, who has reached 2 out of 3 times today, got a double to right field during that 5th inning onslaught. Hypothetical, if you were going to Taco Express after this, I'm not saying you are, if, as Wynn takes a look at a ball too high, what would you order from their menu?
Well, I would probably just point to that picture and say, this.
So you would Fred Mertz it. You'd wear
Yeah, I wear my tie. That has
say, bring
everything.
me some of this.
Fly
Wynn
ball left field.
puts this into left. And Berkwin did have to retreat a little bit, but it will be an F7 for the first out of the inning.
No, they have a variety plate that you can get several different types of meat in those tacos that are made out of smaller sized corn tortillas, and then the salsas and all the fresh pico de gallo and the agua fresca to wash it down. Oh man. See, that's my favorite commercial, and it's my least favorite commercial.
Because it gives you so much temptation. First pitch swing and goes foul for Prater.
The dugout is hilarious. As he swung and launched that ball, the dugout went, oh, like it was going out. And they were like, dang.
It had good sound on it.
It did. It looked good off the bat, but it just went the wrong way. Down the field.
Prater reached on a fielder's choice on the attempt over to third base and then was able to go a couple of bases and score a run as he takes a look at strike 2 here from Tiffy.
Prater had that base hit and scored in his last at bat in that big breakout inning for the Colts.
I just recently had a
procedure done. That gives me a lot more freedom as far as the types of food that I can eat. And I'm really looking forward to Taco Express's carne asada fries.
Yeah.
All dug out there by Reyes. Nobody aboard, so if it got past him, no harm, no foul.
Well, you recently went to a place I want to try, and that's an all-you-can-eat Tex-Mex food bar
Oh,
buffet.
it's not even Tex-Mex. As Prater puts this into left field, and coming up to grab it is Berkwin. Pops, I believe that is straight up Mexican food because they didn't have very much in the way of stuff that you would get at like a Don Pablo's or a Chili's. Like they had agua frescas. That's to me is a symbol of an authentic place when they have authentic agua frescas. Mason Hensley digs in with 2 outs. But they also had pozole. It was on the weekend, so they had menudo and somebody that was carving up carne asada behind a big chopping block table. There were different types of pan dulce and jellos for dessert. They had borracho beans. Sure, they had flautas and chicken nuggets for the kids, but I think they had some chicharron in a salsa verde. It was delicious. Hensley puts a charge in that, and it'll get ripped foul to right field. Timing was just a little bit off there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hensley ignited that suicide squeeze in the last inning.
Oh, that's going on my highlight reel.
That was just amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that clip again.
The 1-2 home. Off speed, high and away for ball 2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch call comes in. Hensley's ready. As he takes a look at ball 3, too low.
We need to contact the choir director at Arlington High School, see if they can come out and coach these boys on some in-tune singing and chanting, maybe.
They just need to get the tempo. They need to do it together. Payoff pitch to Hensley. And he comes all the way back to draw the base on balls. From a 2-strike count to a walk, Hensley is aboard here with 2 outs. And we'll get a pinch hitter coming in again in this spot. Hercules batted for JT last time, and now we'll get number 26, Noah Cifuentes. I can guarantee you he won't be playing right field. But Noah Cifuentes coming in this 6th spot in the lineup with 2 outs here. Likely Arlington's last half inning at bat as we approach our 2-hour time limit. Just giving some other young men an opportunity at the plate, see what they can do with their opponent doubled up here late in the ball game.
Cifuentes is one of my favorite players early in this season, showing lots of hustle. Young man has a good head for the game, played first base some. We saw him hustle in on a play at Rockwall to score a run from third base.
Check down over to first, unsuccessful. It's 1-0 at the plate to Noah. And that will be ball number 2, it looks like. Can't quite find the zone either, does Tiffy. He'll foul that one straight back. I've learned recently that that's an indicator that you had the timing right, you just didn't have the bat squared up on the ball properly. Goes off of the top of your bat to go straight back like that. They're showing 1 and 2 on the scoreboard.
I was watching
here.
the umpire just to see who's right here.
Whatever this is another ball to Cifuentes. Scoreboard shows. There it is. 3 and 1.
Ah,
the
Pops
umpire.
was right.
Pops had his scoreboard right.
I was fixing to change it.
The 3-1 to Cifuentes is away for ball number 4. It's a walk, says the dugout, as Reyes tries to throw Mason Hensley out, but he is awarded that base.
It sounded like something out of Finding Nemo. Walk, walk, walk.
I heard somebody chanting mine, mine, mine during a game recently. That was an interesting exchange. Speaking of exchange, we may have an exchange in pitching. As Tiffy has put 2 men aboard here with 2 outs, Arlington has shown their explosive potential. And Abe Alvarado is due up. That signal from the coach is the sign of a pitching change, and the next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we come back.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Go ahead. Sliding over from third base to assume duties on the mound. Hopefully get the last out of this inning and probably the last out that his defense will need. Number 4, Tate Elliott on the mound for Midlothian here in the top of the 6th inning. We'll see if there's some defensive realignments. I see number 3, Michael Gray, out there. He may be shifting to third. There's a player, number 2, Talon Tiffy, could be moving to short, which means we may get a new second baseman. There's a lot of realignment possible here, Pops. Let's keep our eyes open. Is there 13 currently in the lineup? Yes, that's Keaton Bradshaw. What about a number 5? Is there currently a number 5 in their lineup?
Dylan Dick was on the pitching mound.
Dylan Dick was the pitcher / DH, so it looks like Dylan Dick may go to first base to keep his spot in the lineup. Tate Elliott becomes the pitcher. Number 6. Blackman. What? No, that's 5.
Blackman's 13.
No, Blackman's number 6. Bradshaw is 13.
Abe Alvarado up to bat anyway.
5 is at third. 5 is at third? Dylan Dick is at third. My apologies. Takes a look at strike 1 here from Tate Elliott. Second, that is still Talon Tiffy. Hensley feigns as if he wanted to go to third, and that will prompt Elliott to step off the mound. There he is at short. That's still Michael Gray.
Reyes, the catcher, is going to go out and make sure that he and his battery mate have their signs.
13 is Bradshaw. Okay, so Dylan Dick's
at third.
Will play third as Elliott goes to first. The way the young men were standing in the back of the infield while Elliott was warming up made me feel like they were potentially going to different places and maybe everybody sliding one spot to the left, but it looks like just a straight swap. Dylan Dick in the hot corner, Elliott on the mound. 0-1.
Bradshaw stays at third and at first.
Bradshaw stays at first, yes, sir. Too far inside, that's ball 1 at the plate to Alvarado.
We like to keep things straight, folks, so we can give you as accurate a call as we can get. But the professionals have people.
We are those people. Alvarado fouls this one out of play. Yeah, a professional crew like Fox has somebody that's just a dedicated camera person, has somebody that's just a spotter, just a statistician, somebody in the back in the truck that's updating the scoreboard.
And then you have a person that's a dedicated play-by-play, and then you have somebody that's a dedicated color commentator. What is that, like 6 or 7 people?
6 or 7 people rolled into 2 of us.
And it's just the 2 of us.
And you, yesterday, it was 1.
It was just 1. It was a one-man show.
Abe asked for time at the plate. The new pitcher, Elliott, taking a little bit longer than he liked.
It's 1-2 to him with 2 outs. This next half inning likely the last one of this ball game, as we have just eclipsed 5 p.m. here in Midlothian. The 1-2. Strike 3 is going to be called. Alvarado is going to get rung up, and that will end the Arlington threat. They come up empty this half inning, but they still have 3 runs of support to work with. The final half inning of the afternoon for Zap is going to be on the other side of this break. Stick around for a little bit more Colt baseball here on YouTube.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0319 or email orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Bottom of the 6th inning about to get underway here at Clanton Field, home of the Panthers. The host team Midlothian trails your Arlington Colts by a score of 6-3, but we have just passed the 2-hour time limit. So this will be their final opportunity to mount a rally. Arlington plated 6 runs in the 5th inning to take the 6-3 advantage. And now it'll be Danny Bustamante coming out for another half inning of work to try to get the complete game victory. He's got 5 strikeouts, only 3 runs allowed. It was 3-0 at the end of the 3rd inning. And then Arlington turned on the Jets and have been able to keep them at arm's length ever since. It'll be the new 3rd baseman, Dylan Dick, leading things off. He struck out twice to Bustamante here today. And he'll take a look at ball 1, high and tight. Dylan Dick, Tate Elliott, and Keaton Bradshaw. 3-4-5 in the Midlothian lineup. And a strike will get called as that one goes across the zone. The 1-1. And he finds the low and away part of the corner. Strike 2 called.
You know, Zach, I would venture to say at this point in the season, early in the season, it'll be quite impressive to see a young man go for a full game here as a pitcher.
1-2 is low and away for ball 2.
Of course, I just spoke that, and that's probably not good.
Well, the nice thing is,
the announcer's jinx.
Well, Coach Womack has somebody in mind to be the potential closer. If it gets into a tense situation, he's got an ace in the pocket. Infield, shallow right, caught by Hayden White, the 2nd baseman, and there's one away. Tate Elliott is 2 for 2 on the afternoon with a couple of singles, a run scored, and an RBI. Been a solid contributor for Midlothian so far today. Arlington's defense will look to shut that down as they're 2 outs away from their 3rd win. Fouled away for strike 1. Very tough ball game against Mansfield High where they got some runners in scoring position and couldn't bring them home. Able to make adjustments in between games and actually get some runs home on a couple of suicide squeeze attempts. As this one's in play and hooking foul. Wynn took a look at it, as did the new right fielder. Jeremiah Taylor got pinch hit for some time ago, and that is definitely not him right now in right field. I believe that's number 8, Drew Barrientos, the linebacker for Arlington football, getting some reps out in right as it goes to an 0-2 count here to Tate Elliott. Rosta's 0-2 home. Curveball just a bit too high. It was right at that blue Midlothian scripting on number 4's jersey, and it'll go to a ball and 2 strikes. He asks for a new ball. We'll throw it to the dugout on the first base side. And we'll come set again. Check swing, and he's lucky he laid off of that. Elliott draws ball number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. This one's in play right past Bustamante, and it's a 3-for-3 afternoon for Tate Elliott. As he gets another single to center field and will put a runner aboard with 1 out for Keaton Bradshaw. Coach Rogers will put a little bit of speed on the base paths, and we'll try to track down what that number is. Bradshaw at the plate as 12 takes first base. They'll check down to him really quickly.
Weber.
And Weber is back underneath the tag of Matthew Wynn. Again, all the substitutes only have last names, so number 12, Weber for Midlothian. And that's ball 1, too low to the man at the plate, Keaton Bradshaw. 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a couple of infield groundouts. It's cute that these really tall kids think they can duck underneath our camera. Strike 1 finds the right-hand side of the strike zone to the lefty hitter. It's 1-1.
I appreciate them being cognizant of the fact that it's respectful.
It's respectful. You're right.
Throw it first.
And he's back.
Time. Such a quick turn and throw by Bustamante.
He's got good reflexes. One at the plate. 2-1 as that one's just a bit too far outside.
Check over there.
Another check on Weber. They're pretty paranoid about him over there. This one's a chopper to home. Up to second. Over to first. The 1-6-3 double play should end this ball game. Bradshaw grounds into the GDP. And Bustamante, fitting that he starts the game on the mound and finishes it being part of a game-ending double play. Final score in this one, Arlington 6, Midlothian 3. The Colts get their 3rd win of the season, and all of them coming during this tournament. As we bring you into our little broadcast area here at Clanton Field, Zach Arnold, my pops, Doug, bringing you this Dulin tournament action. Pops, aside from the 5-1 game against Mansfield we called a little while ago, Arlington looks like they may have turned a little bit of a corner, rattling off 3 wins in their last 4 games.
Yeah, they really unleashed the offense with putting up 6 runs in that 5th inning and a variety of runs. We saw a run early in the game with Gannon Howard showing some power over the left field fence.
Some Howard power.
Howard power. I mean, that was a really impressive hit. And so, yeah, it was really good to see the Colts string together a series of hits in that 5th inning to put across a lot of runs.
It was coming in bunches, much like it did against Rowlett, which can be encouraging or discouraging, depending on how you look at it. It can be a feast or famine type of offense for Arlington. There was a little bit of famine in that first game, and then they feasted heavily in the second one. Still trying to figure out how to put things together. And, you know, all they need is one person to be a spark. Today it was Gannon, but who knows who it could be the next game.
Well, and the pitching was good
It
today
was.
for the Colts. I mean, when you look at the way Busta went a full 6 innings, I mean, it was really impressive to see him be able to do that. And to hold Midlothian to 3 runs was a good outing for him today.
It was a complete game victory in this 6-3 final, and that is going to be it for our coverage of the Arlington Colts for this tournament play. They do have a game tomorrow at 10 a.m. back here at Clanton Field. We encourage you to come out and support your Colts. Pops and I will be making the call of Bowie versus Denton over at Irving High School tomorrow morning at 11, and there should be a game live against MacArthur happening in the not-too-distant future as well here on ZAP. So if you're interested in more local baseball, Jot Holly will be on the call for that one. Some fun facts about our post-game presenters, John Wade Roofing. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was the team MVP in '76. He also played for TCU and UTA, earning all-conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy his company has built over the past 40-plus years. The next time you have a roofing need or gutters, painting, solar, soffit repair, or more, call the company that does more and the family that will do more for your family at 817-265-5520. Pops, any final thoughts before we call it a day here at Midlothian High?
No, it was a good day to watch baseball, to watch the Colts play, to watch them grow as they continue to learn and relearn new plays and new perseverance. It was just a good game. I have no regrets being here all day today, and looking forward to this team just continuing to grow.
We'll be back for the Medford Memorial next week and then have all of their district action home and away. But that is going to send us away and send us home for this presentation of high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing. For my Pops Doug, I'm Zach Arnold, thanking you for tuning in and supporting local businesses and local broadcasts by your viewership today. We'll see you tomorrow for Bowie versus Denton at 11 a.m. Until then, have a great